Hello, year three. How are you? I hope you're well. I hope you had a great break and that you're ready to do some more maths. We're looking at time again this week, but what we're doing is looking at elapsed time, so trying to work out the time between start time and end time in hours, minutes, and seconds. And I think that you're going to do some great work. Now, I do sound very bunged up. It's because of my hay fever, and I had a very, very bad allergic reaction yesterday. Just forgive the croaky, bunged up voice. So you should have part with me, so I'm sorry about that in advance. Right, so let's start today's lesson. Let me minimize myself like this. Okay, so today's date is the 1st of June 2020. We're already in June, can you believe it? It's a Monday, and your LI for today is to calculate elapsed time. And you will need a pencil, a ruler, and a paper. And now, whilst we go into the next page, have a little think about what do you think elapsed means. And I gave you a bit of a clue when I was just doing the introduction bit of the lesson. So let's move on. So far, this term, we've been learning about what? And the answer is obviously time. So write down 3 things that you have learnt about time in the last 3 weeks. And I'm hoping that you can think of lots of things. This is to get you back in the whole time frame of mind. Okay, good. So key vocabulary is hours, minutes, time taken, intervals, and elapsed and past. So that gives you a clue as to what elapsed might mean. Intervals, you'll remember we spoke about how there were intervals, how many intervals there, how many 5-minute intervals there were in an hour, how many 5-second intervals there were in a minute. So that's a word that you've already come across. So this vocabulary is vocabulary that I'll be using all week, and for the end of the week, you'll be very familiar with it. Okay, so number talk. Oh, my clock's vanished. So your number talk is let's practice reading some analog times. Now you'll remember that this is an analog clock. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the time and I want you to write down what the times are. So on your piece of paper, don't worry about AM or PM for now. What is the time now? Okay, good. And what is the time now? Just write it down on your piece of paper. What's the time? And what is the time here? So each time I set the time, just pause the video and write the time down. And finally, what is the time now? Good. So let's move on. So defining elapsed time. So today we will be learning about elapsed time and how to calculate it. So what does the term elapsed time mean? If I was you, I'd pause the video now and try to have a go at writing the definition of what elapsed time is. So elapsed time is the amount of time that passed from the beginning of an event to the end of an event. So for example, if break time for us starts at 10:40 and it finishes at 10:55 as it does normally at school, if I asked you what the elapsed time was, what I'd be asking you is, what is the time between 10:40 and 10:55, and of course it's 15 minutes. So this week we're looking at how to calculate how much time has elapsed from a starting time to an end time. Good. Oh no, sorry. So why is elapsed time an important concept to learn about? So you might be wondering, why are we learning about this? What has this got to do with our general math learning? And I'm going to tell you in a second. So finding elapsed time is a key important skill in everyday life because determining or calculating elapsed time requires understanding how to read a clock and understanding how we measure time, because we don't really use our traditional decimal base 10 system to measure time. So usually when you're trying to work out the difference in normal maths question. We take the bottom number away from the top number. That's not how you work it out in time. It requires you, that this paragraph has said, for you to really understand how to read the clock and how to read minutes that go between the different times. Right, so let's look at this time problem that we have here. Justin catches the 8 o'clock train to King's Cross. He arrives at 11 o'clock. How much time has elapsed between his departure and arrival times? Is there a way we can use an open number line to show us how the time elapses? So I'm going to take my clock here, and it's not very quick, unfortunately. We can do it this way. Yeah, that's probably better. So Justin catches the train at 8 o'clock and he gets there at 11. So that's 9, that's 1 hour, 2 hours, and 11 o'clock. So between 8 and 11 o'clock, that's 3 hours. 3 hours have elapsed between his departure time when he leaves and his arrival time when he gets there. How can we represent that on a number line? So what I want you to do is pause the video, draw a number line, to see if you can show me how you'd work out the elapsed time. Do that now. So my timeline is here. Here is 8 o'clock and here's 11 o'clock. And the jumps will represent 1 hour. So right, so 8 to 9 is 1 hour, 9 to 10 is another hour, and 10 to 11 is another hour. So if I was counting it, I'd say 1, 2, 3 jumps is 3 hours. That is how you can use a number line to help you work out elapsed time. Moving on. Let's try this number problem. So Tajay catches the 1 o'clock train from Liverpool Street. He arrives at 6 o'clock. How much time has elapsed between his departure and arrival times? Draw a number line to represent the elapsed time, it says on your whiteboards or your piece of paper, and remember to use a ruler. So I'm going to set the time for you at 6 o'clock. And he arrives he leaves at 1 o'clock, I beg your pardon, and he arrives at 6 o'clock. And my question to you is how many hours have elapsed, and can you use a number line to show me that? So pause the video and have a go now, please. Okay, so let's count the hours using my clock first. So he leaves at 1 o'clock. 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, and 6 o'clock that you rise there. It's 5 hours, isn't it? So on your number line, you draw a straight number line to start at 1 and end at 6, and there'd be 5 jumps for each hour. Okay, well done. Let's look at this problem. David catches the 1:30 train to Manchester. He arrives at 7 o'clock. How much time has elapsed between his departure and arrival times? Try and show this on a number line, and where possible. And also think about how you could label it, what times you'd put where. So he leaves at 1:30 on the train to Manchester and arrives at 7 o'clock. So on our clock, I'm going to put it at 1:30. That's time. Oh no, it's a bit past 1:30. At 1:30, just to show you what time he leaves, and maybe you can use that to work out how long it takes him to get there. If he gets there at 7 o'clock, and use number line to help you. Pause the video and off you go. Okay, so I am going to show you how to do this. This question is different because rather than the departure time being at an o'clock time, it's 1/2 an hour. So that makes it a bit complicated. And when you have a time like that, then the best thing to do is to first take the minute hand to the nearest o'clock. So that is 30 minutes. So keep that in your mind, 30 minutes. And then it's 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, and 30 minutes. Let's see if we can represent this on a number line. So here's a number line. So remember that we're jumping to the nearest hour first. So from 1:30 to 2 o'clock, it's 30 minutes. And it's 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, another hour, 4 o'clock, another hour, 5 o'clock, another hour, 6 o'clock, another hour, 7 o'clock. So we have 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, and 30 minutes. And that is the answer. If you got that right, that is brilliant. Well done. You're doing a really good job. Okay. If you struggled a little bit, it's okay. We've got lots of time to practice and we're practicing all week, so don't worry. Okay, let's move on. So let's look at another time problem, okay? Jessica catches the 3 o'clock train to Birmingham. She arrives at 7:30. How much time has elapsed between her departure and arrival times? So she leaves at 3 o'clock. And she arrives at, that's a bit past 3 o'clock. She leaves at 3 o'clock. She arrives at 7:30. How much time elapses? See if you can represent this on a number line like I did before, okay? Good, off you go. Excellent, so she leaves at 3 o'clock. 4 o'clock, 1 hour. 5 o'clock, 1 hour. Sorry, 2 hours. 6 o'clock, 3 hours. 7 o'clock, 4 hours. And then 7:30, another 30 minutes. The answer is 4 hours and 30 minutes. And then let's see how I would represent that on my number line. So I started with 3 o'clock because that's what time she leaves. And on my number line, (3 o'clock to 4 o'clock is 1 hour. Then 4 to 5, 2 hours. 5 to 6, 6 to 7, and then you have this little one here, 7:30, which is 30 minutes. So when you start counting it, it will say 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, and 30 minutes. Okay, so that is the answer, 4 hours and 30 minutes. Okay, let's see what we have next. Let's try another example here. So Salome catches the 6:30 train to Reading. She arrives at 11:30. And again, I'm asking you to work out the elapsed time and remember to use a ruler. So I am going to set the time for you for 6:30. Oh, no, one past it, sorry. So that is the time that she leaves when she gets here at 11:30. How much time has elapsed? Pause the video, have a go and work it out. Well done. Okay. Here's a number line. Now, what I've said to you is remember to take the nearest hour. So in the first question, the 30 minutes was at the beginning, and then the second question, the 30 minutes was at the end. Here, it's something a bit different. So we have, let me get my lines, my jumping lines out. So 6:30, remember to take the nearest hour. 6:30 to 7 is 30 minutes, bear that in mind. And it's 7 to 8, 8 to 9, 9 to 10, 10 to 11, and finally 11 to 11:30. It might, let's do it that way. Now these two, this jump and this jump, they're 30 minutes each. The jumps in between are hours. So we've got 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. plus 4 hours 30. 4 hours 30 plus another 30 minutes means that her journey took her 5 hours. You might have worked it out a different way. Some of you might have said 6:30, 7:30, 8:30, 9:30, 10:30, 11:30. That's also fine. I sometimes think it's clearer to go to the nearest hour. Good job, guys. Okay, now let's see what we have next. So here we have some departure times and arrival times. So these trains, this train is at 7, gets there at 11. This one is at 12, gets there at 6. But what I want you to do is for you to pause the video, create number lines for these, and tell me how much time elapses in each journey, and then we'll go through the answers. Good luck. So for this one, 7 o'clock to 11 o'clock, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 4 hours would have elapsed this journey. For this one, 12 to 6 would have been 6 hours. 5:30 to 10 o'clock, so 5:30, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 4 hours and 13 minutes. You can't see that because there you go. And 6:30 to 12:30 would also have been 6 hours. If you got those right, guys, good job. Let's see what we have next. Danny's back. He has also had a great half-term holiday running around the back garden chasing squirrels. So he's back and he's ready to work and get serious. So Danny Dog says that when calculating elapsed time, you can go in any direction on the clock. So clockwise or anti-clockwise. Do you agree, Danny? Give the reasons for your answer. And so when you're doing this, answering this question, remember to use a full sentence, which is I agree with Danny Dog because, or I disagree with Danny Dog because. Okay, off you go. Now, hopefully you disagreed with Danny Dog, because what Danny Dog is saying is when you're calculating time, you can calculate time backwards or forwards. That is incorrect, okay? You have to calculate the time going in a clockwise direction because that will give you the right answer, because when you're telling, when time is passing us by, it goes in the clockwise direction, not the anti-clockwise direction. If you start working out anti-clockwise, then you're going to get the completely wrong answer. When you're calculating elapsed time on an analog clock, you need to go in the clockwise direction, which is the direction the clock normally ticks in when it goes on throughout the day. Okay, so time has come now to complete your tasks. And as always, please don't forget to take a picture and email it to us at year3@grange.harrow.sch.uk. Now, where to find your task? As always, you all know how to do this now. From the Grange website, online learning tab, year 3, and the task will be entitled Maths Task, 1st of June 2020. When you click onto that, you'll come across this sheet here. Task 1 is asking you to write a time under each clock, so clock A and clock B, and is asking you to work out the elapsed time between the 2 clocks. That'll be the first task. Task 2 is saying fill in the table below, then draw lines in your book, paper to express the elapsed time for each train. So train A, it departs at 5 and arrives at 12. What's the elapsed time? So you can write the answer in. If you are someone who prints the sheets out, you can draw a number line here on the sheet. If you just do it in your book, you can draw a number line in your book to show me how you work that out. Task 3 gives you start times and end times. Okay, it says, what do you notice about start time and end times, and can you complete the missing times on the table? So, as a clue, the first 3 start times and end times, you'll work out a pattern. And once you've worked out the pattern, you'll be able to work out the missing times, 3 missing times here and the missing time there. And finally, it says, task 4, draw the hands on the blank clock to show an hour later. Write the new times below. So this time says 4:43, and so it wants you to calculate what would be an hour later than 4:43, and then draw the time here and write the time that's an hour later after 4:43 there. Okay, so I'm going to go back to our main smartboard. And there's no challenge for today, and that's because it's our first day back, trying to ease you in to our maths. Challenges will start from tomorrow, but for now, just complete your task. Once you're done, put your feet up, send me a picture of your work, and I will see you tomorrow for some more fantastic maths. Take care, have a great day, be safe.